Federal funding is frozen and local seniors are feeling the effects. I'm Blake Gully. How critical programs are at risk if the government shutdown continues.
Plus, the government shutdown effects reach beyond seniors in our area. One nonprofit in Joplin explains how family stress increases risks for local kids and what they're doing about it. And authorities respond to a shooting in Joplin.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
As the government shutdown continues into November, federal aid programs impacting 4-staters feel the strain. This is KOAM News. I'm Dow Quick. While a court decision will allow partial SNAP payments this month, many local organizations that depend on federal dollars are still in limbo. KOAM's Blake Gully shows how the shutdown is hitting seniors right here in the 4 states.
Do I buy my medicine or do I buy my food?
That's the decision many seniors are facing as the government shutdown stretches into November. The Area Agency on Aging relies on federal funding to support programs that keep seniors fed and connected.
We had intended to furlough 23 kitchen staff and stop serving hot lunch at our senior centers. We received some beautiful, wonderful, generous donations from some folks to keep that going, and we've been working with the cities of Webb City, Neosho, and Joplin.
Jennifer tells me she's working with officials in Joplin and other cities to provide temporary funding until federal funds start flowing again. And for seniors in the Joplin Senior Center, they just want Washington to understand this shutdown hits home.
They ought to think about us, the people that come over here and need this, because there's so many people that really need this, and the ones that still, like our officials that are still getting their checks and getting all their money and all that, they need to donate it. A lot of people here need help, and we need the government to wake up and do what they got to do.
I feel like the government's let us down because, you know, we pay our taxes, and we paid our tax all our life, and then they just up and shut down on us because they can't agree on stuff.
The agency says funding has only increased about 4% in the last decade, while operating costs have nearly doubled. Once the government reopens, it could take up to 8 weeks before the agency receives the funds it needs. Reporting in Joplin, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
Local organizations like the Area Agency on Aging say they're still relying on donations and community support until full funding returns. It's not just seniors impacted by the government shutdown. According to the executive director of Children's Haven, the shutdown has increased stress and placed greater needs on some families in the Joplin area. With more than 12% of families in southwest Missouri and southeast Kansas relying on food assistance, the shutdown threatens to add to the challenges faced by these families during the holiday season. Children's Haven says they need community support now more than ever.
When stress is high in families, that is when unintentional and accidental things can happen. We're here to keep kids safe, to prevent child abuse and neglect, and be a safe resource for kids to spend the night when stress is high in the family. And the current climate is certainly causing more stress for families in our area.
Anyone interested in supporting Children's Haven or seeking resources for families during this challenging time can visit their website or contact their office directly for more information. November begins a new round of open enrollment for those looking for coverage under the Affordable Care Act. This year's coverage might run into some complications as Congress has cut tax credits earlier this month to the ACA, causing many health care premiums to increase. Some notable changes are some health insurance companies are no longer providing coverage to certain counties. Your primary care physician may no longer be in network.
There may still be some that has a 0 premium, but you may see an incredibly high deductible. If a person has had a marketplace in the past, we recommend that to not just let it re-enroll.
Some healthcare providers offer services that do not require insurance. One of them is KCU Dental in Joplin. We're going to have more on that for you tonight. Right now, though, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty for our first look at the weather.
And our work week is kicked off fantastic. Plenty of sunshine for us today. Temperatures great, mainly upper 60s, which is a little bit above average, about 4 or 5 degrees above average for us today. All right, so 60s, 50s. Of course, it's dark already, but overall, it looks pretty good as we go through the evening hours. We are going to get some high-level clouds kind of streaming in on Tuesday. One big difference, though, is the winds are really going to pick up as we go into Tuesday afternoon. Look at our high temps, though, 72, 73 degrees. Right now, we're still kind of sitting 55 to about 60 degrees, a little bit warmer once you get into northeastern parts of Oklahoma. But our high today was 68, 64 is our average high. We've just been kind of cool the second half of last week. We're going to look at even warmer temperatures moving in here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. A 24-year-old man suffers a gunshot wound in Joplin during the early morning hours. The call came in about 4:10, reporting a man suffering a gunshot to the abdomen. This was on Brownell Avenue. Authorities took the man to an area hospital. Joplin police said they have no suspect or additional information released this time. It is still a developing story. Head over to KOIMnewsnow.com for more information as it becomes available. The voters have spoken. Ben McLeish fills us in on who won the performance of the week. That's coming up. But up first, helping families put food on the table.
With the uncertainty surrounding SNAP benefits, a food pantry in Carthage is stepping in to help. I'm Kenny Foreman, and I'll have more on that coming up.
With all this uncertainty regarding SNAP benefits, a number of area pantries are working to help those who were impacted. KOIM's Kenny Foreman tells us how Carthage's Cross Lines Ministries is trying to make sure nobody goes hungry.
Executive Director Tony Smith is ready to lend a helping hand.
We were able to make about 48 boxes of emergency food items on Saturday, and 48 boxes aren't that many if we receive 500 people that come to us that need emergency services.
It's all part of what Carthage Cross Lines Ministry had already been doing for years.
I live on SSI. I barely have means to get food, so between food stamps, this place has been very helpful on between not only food but also the clothes and hygiene stuff that they are able to give to us.
As soon as the announcement was made that the federal government would be suspending SNAP benefits, Carthage Cross Lines understood the severity of the situation and promptly sprung into action.
As soon as I seen the emails or when I seen the news, then I'm like, well, we have to be preemptive on that to be prepared in the event of whatever. So we really started preparing about 2 weeks ago, still not knowing if the government was going to reopen before the 1st.
The pantry is now available to qualified individuals even if they aren't a regular client. It's a commitment Smith and her team are willing to keep until the benefits are restored.
I've been hungry in my life, and I'm going to do my very best to make sure another person isn't hungry or give them the resources of where they can go in town to get food. I can't do everything for all people, but all of us can do something for everyone.
In Carthage, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Those in need can pick up supplies from 10 a.m. through 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday, with each day corresponding with a range of last names. The ministry is monitoring the current situation with multiple federal judges ruling in favor of restoring SNAP benefits. A little bit later, the Chiefs address an unfamiliar challenge, a less than dominant season.
And our temperatures really heating up, also the winds increasing as we go through the next few days. Details coming up. Well, definitely it turned out to be a great Monday for us today. Crystal clear blue skies, light winds, warming up, upper 60s to near 70 during the afternoon. We do have some clouds increasing, mid, upper level clouds, thin clouds, not a big deal. But a few of these will kind of shift through as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. All right, let's go through time. Let me take you through the next couple days. We're going to start on your Tuesday morning. Not as chilly, in fact, especially Friday and Saturday, even Sunday. We had real hard frost across the region. 51-ish to start the day. Look at the southerly winds helping our temperatures warm up. Lower 70s by noon. I think most of us around 72. Pretty good Tuesday. Tomorrow night, few clouds kind of shifting through again. we have a weak cold front. You can see this wind shift line is going to drop through as we go through the daytime hours on Wednesday. It doesn't really have any cold air behind it, but it may drop our temperatures a few notches as we go into Wednesday afternoon, but very quiet as we go through the next couple days. The winds get moving. Look at this, winds gusting 30, 35 at times throughout the daytime hours on Tuesday. Heading into Wednesday, still breezy. Here comes our front. Look at that wind shift line, and still kind of breezy out of the other direction as we go into Wednesday. That's about all the weather action we have, at least over the next couple days. 53 to start, 70 by noon, high temp, 72 in the afternoon. It's 6:15 and it's pitch dark. Definitely stinks. Get used to this for about the next 3.5 months. And through the evening hours, slide back through the 50s, but we only bottom out near 50 later on tonight. Still 61 in Miami, 60 Oswego, 55 Iola, Carthage at 57, 60 in Bella Vista. And the reason we're going to warm up is we have this ridge of high pressure, which is building in. It's a weak ridge, but it's enough to give us nice weather all week long. So as we go through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, weak front, Saturday, a little stronger wave, and that will cool us down a little bit more on the backside of this as we start next week. And then pretty quiet again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The bottom line here is the next 10 days, not much is going to happen. It's right after this that things start to get moving, especially as we get into the middle of the month of November. All right, so let's continue through time. Here's Thursday, mid to upper 70s. We may even push 80 once you get down toward like Tulsa. And then Thursday night into Friday, a weak front, but still near 70 on Friday. A little bit cooler air works in, still near 70 on Saturday. But it's this system, look above the banner, you see snow in Iowa. This system, it keeps all the rain and snow to our northeast, but it ushers in that cooler air. We could be talking about highs, upper 40s to near 50 as we go into Sunday. 72 tomorrow, 71 Wednesday, 76 Thursday, 72 Friday. Big cool down Sunday and Monday, but dry all week.
You know, I Googled to see what the official sunset time was for this area today. 5:19.
Wow.
Yeah, and it'll be before 5 slightly by the time winter starts. Wow. Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, a local athlete is named COC West Softball Player of the Year. Plus, a closer look at the Kansas City Chiefs' disappointing 5-4 start. Ben McLeish has those stories and more up next in sports.
With the Missouri softball season coming to a close, one of our local athletes earned COC West Player of the Year honors. Neosho's Olivia Emery gets the nod after an incredible season in the circle. She finishes the year with an 8-3 record, sub-2 ERA, and a whopping 135 strikeouts. Well, every Friday night during Press Box, we ask our viewers to vote on who they think dominated on the field. Today, the vote is in. Colgan running back Clayton Adamson is your pick after his performance in the Panthers' postseason opener. He ran all over Donovan West, scoring 7 touchdowns in just the first half of Colgan's 63-0 win. If you want to join in on the fun, you can cast your vote every weekend on our website, koamnewsnow.com/pigskin. Well, heading into the bye week, the Kansas City Chiefs are sitting at 5-4 on the season, their worst 9-game start since 2021. As it stands today, the Chiefs are on the outside looking in of the playoffs, a position they're not too familiar with in the Patrick Mahomes era. Without a doubt, Kansas City's faced a lot of good teams this year, but they're not used to being on the wrong side of those matchups. This season, they have to respond to adversity.
We've had great moments. We've had bad moments. We got to be more consistent as a team. I got to be more consistent at quarterback. And we got to be able to battle. I mean, we've kind of been in a lot of these tight, close games in our history, but they're not going our way now.
The Chiefs have their bye week this Sunday, but in Week 11, they take on the division-leading Broncos on the road. Well, the Pitt State Gorillas just keep on winning. Their victory over the Lions on Saturday marks their 7th in a row. KOAM Sports Director Ryan Blank recaps the action from the jungle.
The Pitt State Gorillas made it 7 wins in a row with an 11th straight victory over Missouri Southern on Saturday. And on an emotional day where the Gorillas honored 24 players for Senior Day, it was the veterans that stepped up.
Senior Day is always hard, on players, on families, and on coaches. We've just recruited those guys, 4 or 5 years ago and got to know them and their families so well, help them not just develop as football players, but, to have those guys in your program and see them grow as men, over the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah, that's part of the emotions of being a college football coach, and that's the fun part of it, just to see their growth and development. And so cool on Senior Day to see some of our seniors come up with some of those big plays for us.
One of those seniors being running back Jacoby Smith, finding the end zone for the first time this season to help Pitt State gain an early 14-0 lead.
Jacoby and DV have done an amazing job of just coming on this year and growing each week and being some of those guys that we can rely on when we need to, and we don't feel like there's any drop-off and we don't feel any less confident when they're in. So super proud of Jacoby and what he's going to continue to do.
On the defensive side of the ball, the Gorillas dominated, holding the Lions to a mere 11 yards rushing on the afternoon and sacking quarterback Tillman Martin 7 times.
I think that bye week just gave us a lot of time to work on keeping our cage. That was something we emphasized a lot at practice. So just focusing on the details and also just them having great coverage in the back end helped with a lot of those sacks we had today.
I would not want to play against that D-line, and so I get to do it every day in practice, and luckily they can't touch me. So that's all I can really say. Awesome D-line, though.
Another veteran leader who made a big play, Captain Ryan Medeiros, who hauled in his first interception of the season that would set up the final blow, as Jackson Berry connected with Tywan Atkins Jr. for a score.
Read the QB's eyes, worked on that a lot as a middle formation guy to just trust the QB where he's going to throw it when that ball's in the air, just attack it, high point it.
I actually get on the field after we score, and on the sideline I said, "Who got that pick?" And they said Ryan, and we're standing right next to him, show him some love. So I know he's happy, his family's happy, he deserves it.
The Gorillas hit the road for Warrensburg to take on Central Missouri on Saturday, eyeing an 8th straight win. Well, that's it for sports. We're back with more after the break.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 tonight on Fox 14. City officials look to pass an ordinance on some transient traffic in Joplin. We're going to have the latest from tonight's council meeting. Plus, cuts to tax credits could impact local open enrollment for the Affordable Health Care Act. And 2 clubs at PSU raise a spooky good time with the Day of the Dead celebration. Stay with us. Those stories, a lot more tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. It was a beautiful day.
It was. It was a great day.
Unfortunately, the sunlight had to disappear too quickly.
I know, it stinks. But 72 tomorrow, so about 4 or 5 degrees warmer now. It's going to be very windy tomorrow. We're going to have winds gusting upwards of 35 at times, maybe a little bit higher. But all week long in the 70s, dry, big cool down by Sunday.
In my opinion, this is the best time of year in the 4 states, and those coming temps are exactly the reason for that. Final sports note.
Well, it looks like it's going to be beautiful weather on Friday for some of our local teams having their postseason debut. Teams like Joplin and Carthage, get to look at them for the first time. Teams like Webb City and Colgan will look to continue their postseason success and advance.
And the sports team will be all over all of that.
We'll be all over it.
Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.